Until the election night, May 14th, we won't know how people are voting in the province or who will be our representatives in Victoria. But a recent poll has given us a snapshot into which way the electorate is leaning in Prince George Valemount. The roadways are looking colorful right now, which may be one indication of a tight race in Prince George Valemount. Another is a recent poll which put support for Shirley Bond of the BC Liberals at 46% and her NDP opponent Sherry Ogasawara at 41%.
Shirley Bond has represented the community for several elections and as well has held about 6 cabinet positions and been deputy premier. She's a heavy hitter, so it should come as a surprise to her campaign team that they have a lot of work to do to win again.
This is clearly a close race. Prince George Valemount is one of the ridings to watch. This is a battleground riding for both the NDP and the BC Liberals. This poll shows that both of those parties are within the margin of error.
The Oracle poll, commissioned for CKPG News and the Prince George Citizen, was conducted between April 17th to 20th. Both the NDP and Liberal candidates are mostly shrugging it off.
We haven't paid much attention to the polls because our focus really is on working on what we have to do and just keeping that in front of our eyes all the time.
I think that across the province, obviously, people knew this was going to be a very challenging race. So from my perspective, obviously an encouraging result, but it certainly means lots of hard work ahead, and I intend to work very hard right up until the polls close on May 14th.
Experts say polls are only valuable if taken with a grain of salt.
How people say they might vote isn't the same as how they will vote, but in social science research, it's the best we can do to try to gauge public opinion on various issues, including elections.
But there's no doubt this is a riding to watch. Morris says it's possible this is a bellwether riding, one in which there is a greater indication of the election as a whole.
In regard of Prince George Valemount, if Shirley Bond were to keep the riding, we might want to draw a larger conclusion that the government is safer than even other polls tend to assume. If she were to lose the riding, could that be an indication that as that goes, so does the entire government?
But Morris says we will have to wait and see what voters decide on May 14th.